I have been meaning to sign up to the library, my local library. With my goals for this year, I wanted to be very intentional. This is a really big purchase for me. I'm really excited. This is an iPad Air M3. I got it in purple. I am really excited to get into these. I want to read them so soon. Hi my loves, welcome back or welcome to our channel. Welcome if you guys are new. This is a bit of a different video for this channel, but I personally absolutely love watching reset videos. I think they are so motivating. They motivate me to reset, so I'm hoping that I can do the same for you today. This video is going to take place over a few weeks, so whilst I am posting this towards the end of January, it has been taking place over the first few weeks of January. Personally, I'm not great at resetting everything, so this is going to be a me version, a Freya version of resetting. Getting things set up for the new year, so whether that is getting my content scheduled, making a content schedule, we're going to be making a vision board for 2026, which is new to me. I have a book haul, I really want to sign up to the library, just kind of setting myself up for hopefully success, bookish success, shall we say, for the rest of the year. Hopefully that might interest you and we can spend the next few weeks together resetting for 2026, getting ready for the new year. I feel like January is that month where it's like the perfect time to reset. December, absolutely not. I have no time in December. January is when I reset. And then like February is the first like productive month of 2026, or just the new year in general. So I hope you guys enjoy. We're gonna have a fun week together and yeah, let's go. This was like the best timing ever. I literally was just coming home from my walk and I saw someone in my apartment complex driveway and it was a van and I was like, is that DHL? Because that has my iPad in it. And I was like, of course, just when I leave the house it comes. And I stopped him and I was like, hi, I'm so sorry. Did you just try to deliver to apartment this number? And he was like, yeah, I did. And I was like, I have ID. I can prove that it's me. Please don't take it to the post office. He was very kind. So look what just arrived. Guys, I am so excited. This is a massive deal for me. I don't usually treat myself like this, so it feels very special. The actual delivery came really funny. It kind of was like a little treasure hunt, to be honest. Like it kind of came over a few days. So yesterday, like midday, my case arrived. Then in the afternoon, my pen arrived. And then today, my iPad arrived. So this is very exciting. We're gonna unbox this together and then we're gonna put it together. So I am using my iPad. Yes, I'm a uni student, so obviously I'll be using it for notes and everything, but I also will be using it a big thing for my content. That's kind of the reason I purchased this. So all bookish things, I'm gonna have bookish apps, everything like that. I'll use it for my podcast. It's gonna be used for everything. So I'm very excited about this. I tried to do a bit of research. I'm not gonna be editing a lot at least of my long form content on this or anything. It's gonna be mainly used for short form content. And I just did some research on what was the best iPad for that. A lot of them said the iPad Pro, but they said if you want a cheaper option, the iPad Air M3 is also really, really great for it. So this is an iPad Air M3. I got it in purple because why not? My computer's pink. I was like, we got to stick to a theme here. This is the 11-inch. I didn't want it too big. I also travel quite a bit back and forth from like areas, so I want to be able to bring it with me. So I did want the smaller one. I also just got the matching case because I'm a sucker for a matching piece, a matching set. And then also because I do all my thumbnails, I do a lot of note taking and everything, I wanted to get a pen as well, so I got the Apple Pen Pro. Charges on the side of the iPad, which is very, very nice. So this is a really big purchase for me. I'm really excited. Should we unbox together? I'll probably put in my little TikTok that I do of unboxing it because I really want to show my TikTok community and Instagram community as well. This is a really big deal for me. I'm really excited about this, but I thought we could unbox my new iPad together and put it together as a bookish girly. My iPad was just dying on me, okay? I really, really needed an upgrade. This is the iPad Air M3 with the Apple Pencil Pro. Whilst I use my iPad for many, many things, a big part of what I use it for is content creation and just bookish stuff in general. Let's do the actual iPad first. Oh, we actually get a charger on this. That's fun. This color, we need to put a case on this immediately because I do not trust myself. I just got the matching iPad Air Smart Folio because it's clean and compact and I like it. How do you take this out? I like to pretend I'm good at this ASMR, but I'm not. Why did I not know that you just clip it on? Does it just like... Oh my gosh. Last but not least, we have the pen. Oh, this one's easier because that was how I meant to do the last one as well. The pen is so sleek. It has my name on it, guys. Okay, this is what she's looking like. I am so excited. In the next video, we're gonna set it all up together. We're on the ground because it was easier to like set it up TikTok style there. Guys, I am truly obsessed. One thing I cannot get over is how thin this is and how light it is. I can't even remember what iPad I had, but it's a very, very old iPad. And so this is like a massive upgrade. I'm obsessed with the pen, number one. The fact that it like just clips on like that is beautiful. Cannot with this color. Like I'm truly obsessed. And I love that you can like still see the color on the case. Like these cases are so beautiful and smart. Probably should have gotten a screen protector. But anyway, we'll get that later. But this is it. It is a beautiful size, I think. Same size as my last one, pretty much. I love the case. I think it's such a sleek design. I think it's so pretty. I just can't with how light it is. I'm so shocked. Okay, let's try and set it up. I don't know if I'll have to get my old iPad. Also, the iPad came with a charger, which is a nice change because usually it doesn't. Ooh, okay. I'm just gonna do all this off camera because this is really boring. A few days later, I've kind of made a bit of a setup on my iPad. I guess I'll walk you through kind of like the basics. First of all, I'm just obsessed with it. I'm so glad I decided to get it. Right now we have just a purple background, but for like the home screen background, no, the lock screen background, I really want to have a vision board because I don't usually do vision boards and I feel like they're really inspiring. So basically at the front we just have my little widgets. I like to keep the first page really clean. I don't know why. The second page is all my bookish apps. The ones I go to most are Goodreads, obviously the Kindle app, Fable, an aesthetic version of Goodreads I would say, the journal app just because Pinterest, we love Pinterest. Kilo Notes is where I keep all my notes. Apple Books is really useful to have, and then Instagram and YouTube because they're my bookish social medias. And then on the next page we have all my editing platforms, and then we just have random apps on the last one. But I thought we could make a little vision board together. I've been watching people do this recently and I find it really inspiring, and maybe you can sit down and create a little vision board while you watch just on Pinterest. So make myself a nice cup of tea. This is actually a vanilla chai. I'm having it black because I don't really feel like milk, but I haven't had this tea before, so let's do a taste test. It's okay. I'm not really getting the vanilla. It's just kind of a chai. So I guess that's good, a black chai. I have always been one that doesn't really do vision boards because, and like doesn't do journaling and doesn't do scrapbooking because I commit to it for about a month and then I literally just forget about it. Or it just becomes way too much effort for me to be going and printing out things all the time, and I often think it's a bit of a waste, and like it's not. I just think that. Whilst I stick with my hobbies, like I am really, really good with my hobbies. I'll be obsessed with them for a really long time. But journaling is the one hobby I absolutely cannot commit to. I don't know why. I get bored of it really quickly. So my plan for 2026 is to do digital journaling. I feel like this is good for any busy girls who want to keep journaling, any Pinterest lovers, anyone who just doesn't have access to a printer all the time. So we're going to create a vision board to go on my home screen, on my lock screen. The way I am going to do this is I've kind of over the past few days gone onto my Pinterest and created a 2026 mood board, and then I'm just going to get kind of the most impactful, meaningful pictures of what I want my 2026 to look like, and then I'm going to put them all in a little collage, and we're just going to put 2026 over the top. So we'll probably make it on probably Canva, I'd say. I'll give you a little overview of what my mood board looks like at the moment. With my goals for this year, I wanted to be very intentional and I didn't want to be unrealistic, and I didn't want to be that specific, if that makes sense. I have pinned quite a bit, but I find when I get to the end of the year and I can't tick off my goals exactly, I get really anxious about it. I don't like it. So what I want to do this year is have really broad goals that kind of apply to things I want to achieve in 2026, but without being very, very specific about it. So I do have my little journal here and I wrote down some of my goals for the year. I also just reflected on 2025 because it was a crazy year, but instead of being like, I want to get this specific job, like I don't want to, but like just say that was a thing. Like I want to get this role in this company. Like I don't want to set a specific goal. I'd rather, if I was going to do something like that, be like, I want to challenge myself professionally and step outside my comfort zone. So yeah, I kind of just wrote down a bunch of my goals. Some are a little bit more specific, like 10K steps daily or every other day, because I do want to listen to my body. I don't want to be pushing it. But yeah, kind of every other day. I do that anyway, but I just wanted to continue doing that. Very much focusing on health, well-being, mental health, everything like that. I just want to be rich in health in 2026. So I'm going to go through my mood board and save some specific things. So first of all, as you would have seen, there's a few photos of like Europe, London, the Eiffel Tower. Now, a big goal of Austin and I's this year is to travel to London and Paris and a few other countries in Europe. I have been to Europe once in my life on an exchange, like in a school program, and we have been saving for this trip for about like 2-3 years now. So we're really excited to be hopefully doing that in 2026. We will be. It's like almost set in stone. We just have to book things now. So I'm going to include a few photos of traveling and everything. I do really want to push myself outside my comfort zone and travel. Traveling does make me a little bit anxious, but when I'm there, I love it. I obviously want to continue content creation in 2026. So I've got a few camera photos that I'm going to put up there, editing photos, just as like a kind of, I don't know, a bit of motivation, I guess. Like when I see this mood board, I want to be motivated to achieve my goals and to continue in this mindset for the rest of the year. And sometimes that can be really difficult. You can lose motivation, you can have creative burnout, and I just feel like having a mood board really helps that. And on the days that I'm feeling a little bit lost, I don't have any creative ideas at the moment, to kind of just stop, take a breath. I do want to come back to Pinterest so much because I feel like Pinterest gives me so many ideas. Another thing I'm doing in 2026 is hopefully graduating my degree. I have 1 year left of my degree, which is exciting. Because I transferred degrees, it feels like a really long time since I started. I do want to include some photos of studying because, well, look, I do love studying. I love it. But when it gets to like exam period, I hate it. I don't know one single person who would enjoy that, to be honest. I am also just such a visual person. Like if I can see things, that makes it so much better for me than like necessarily writing down my goals. Like writing down my goals, that's like a great way for me to journal it out and get it out. But to actually like come back to it, I do really like a visual representation of it. So that's really important. I was watching Rachel Catherine's reset video recently. She was talking about the fact that she does a word for each year, like a word that she wants to like live by in a way, or a word that is going to kind of shape her goals, shape her attitude towards the next year. I love that. But then I started thinking and I was like, it's actually really hard to come up with a word. There are a few things I want to focus on overall, but it's really hard to narrow it down to kind of one word. Obviously, we're going to have a few reading photos in there just for the vibes. That is something you do not need to be motivation on. I will always be reading. Another thing I want to put emphasis on is romanticizing the little things in my life, because I feel like I definitely can pass things by too quickly. So going out for coffee with friends, going out for coffee by myself, taking myself on little coffee dates. I love going out for coffee, honestly. Like romanticizing little things like that is something I really want to focus on. And I feel like it's so easy to say that, but to actually do it in the moment, it's kind of hard. Like you do have to actually consciously do that. One thing I really was happy about in 2025 was the fact that I found a form of movement that I really, really enjoyed that also made me quite social. So for me, that was going to yoga classes and Pilates classes, both hot mat Pilates and reformer Pilates. And honestly, that is like my happy part of my day. I don't go every day, obviously, but when I do go, I feel so much better and I feel so happy to have a form of movement that really, really motivates me and makes me really happy. Because whilst I have fallen in love with that side of movement, I hate the gym. I hate running. I love walking. But any kind of high intensity workouts, I hate. I cannot do them. I also have a condition which I can't really run for very long because I pass out. But the gym specifically, I really can't do. An actual workout class like Pilates, you literally can switch off for an hour and it's the best thing in the world. So that is something I obviously want to continue doing. Looking after my health, physical health and mental health, honestly, it does wonders for my mental health. That's kind of one of the reasons I do it so much. Another thing, obviously, we are focusing on is the podcast in 2026. 2025 was the year we established a podcast, Once Upon a Time Zone, and it's become my happy place on the internet. I am so, so grateful for everyone who listens. I love it so, so much. So obviously we're going to be putting a lot of time and effort into the podcast, which again, that one doesn't really feel like a chore by any means because I love it so much. I have a few milestones I would love to hit on my social medias as well. Like we're getting close to 50k on here, which is absolutely crazy. We're kind of creeping closer to 100k on Instagram. Like these milestones feel so out of reach for me, but I'm like, wow, that's kind of like actually happening soon, and it literally blows my mind. So I want to continue to work towards that. I also have like, I think I included somewhere the YouTube silver platinum thing. Obviously I am nowhere near 100k, which is I think the milestone you have to reach to get the silver YouTube button, but that is like an overarching theme, I guess. Like I want to continue to grow this platform because I literally love it so much. I cannot believe I get to do this, and we have created such an incredible community here. It really, really makes me so happy every single day. I also want to make time for my hobbies in 2026. So like that is painting. Obviously it gets a little bit hard during the uni season, but that's okay. Making time for friends is not a waste of time. Like if I am in exam period and somebody invites me out for a coffee, I don't want to be like, no, I don't have time, I've got to study, sorry, because that is going to severely affect my mental health. I want to be like, yeah, I have an hour, I can come for an hour and we can chat and it's great. So I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with like coffee dates in anyway. Focusing on healthy foods. Obviously I have a pretty whole food diet, which just I find makes me feel my best. I also want to continue to prioritize my relationship in 2026. I think that's a really important thing. I think when you get in a long-term relationship, it's really easy to just forget the importance of prioritizing it. So that is also something I really want to do. I feel like we might need a few other photos. So let's do a little browse. I'm trying to pick photos that really intentionally share my goals. So when I look at them, I'll be like, yep, that's my goal. Also, something else I want to start doing this year is doing monthly resets. And now the thing is, I feel like with me, when I think of resets, I think you have to do all or nothing. You go intense or you don't bother. So what I want to shift that mindset. I want to start doing small monthly resets that are going to help me like come back to myself, center myself a little bit, but aren't that intense. And again, I've always thought I want to create a mood board for every month. I don't know why I didn't think of the fact that I can create monthly mood boards. So I have created my January mood board just on Pinterest, just focusing on the smaller goals or little steps I can take to work towards my overarching goals. I feel like it's a good little, what are my intentions for this month? Maybe we should try put this on a mood board, and I might do that. And then once I've like done it, I'll walk you through it. The actual making of the mood board did not take that long. It was the sizing it to my iPad screen and being able to like tip it this way and it still look cool, but also this way and look cool. That was harder. Anyway, but let's go through kind of each photo and the intentions behind them. Honestly, if you're a Pinterest person, I cannot recommend doing this enough. It is just so much fun. It's just like a really fun, relaxing downtime kind of thing to do. So I highly recommend it. I won't go through every single one, and I've already kind of talked about my goals, so I'm just going to show you which ones represent that. So obviously we have the podcast, nice and basic. We've just got that little photo here just to remind me how cool, because honestly it feels really surreal that I have a podcast with Jamie. Like that doesn't feel real to me. It only kind of started sinking in at the end of last year, so it's kind of almost a fact that like, yeah, you have a podcast, like that's amazing. People listen to you ramble about books. On the subject of social media, obviously we have a few. We have like the YouTube goals, 100k. I really don't care that much about the numbers. It feels surreal when you hit them, but my goal isn't to hit this amount of followers. It's more just to build our community and to continue creating content and continue growing as a content creator, like getting better at editing, because that's something I've had to start from scratch, finding more ways to connect to you guys, sharing different sides of my life. Like that's more important to me than numbers. We have quite a few little study bits because I want to try and romanticize my study this year. I can get like, oh my god, it's really hard. And I've also kind of put the graduation photo as like pretty central, because that is like a good reminder of like why I'm working this hard and everything like that. We also have a few like little self-care things, like the photo with the iPad and the daily planner and stuff, and then the skincare, kind of just taking time and romanticizing the little moments. I love planning out my week, like sitting there planning out my week, listening to a podcast or listening to music. Oh my god, and then getting ready, like self-care with a YouTube video, best thing in the world for me. So very much want to focus on that and like allow myself the time to do that when I'm really busy. Obviously we have reading scattered around there because obvious reasons. We have baking. I would love to bake a little bit more. I love baking and I'm not too bad at it, but I don't make time for it. So I'd like to bake a little bit more this year. We have some painting. We also have Monet. I am like the biggest Monet fan. I feel like not a lot of people know that, but I love Monet's paintings. I love the Impressionists, to be honest. The French Impressionists, I have never felt connected to art pieces until I saw a French Impressionist painting. And then like when I was like 15 or something, and my whole world literally changed. And then there was an exhibition for the Impressionists in Melbourne like years and years ago, and I went there and I like had a whole moment. So the fact that I might get to see the water lilies at the Louvre in 2026, guys, I think I'm gonna have like a spiritual moment there. Like I cannot explain what that painting does to me. If you've never had this, like, I don't know if it's a thing that everyone has a painting that really connects to them, but like water lilies, that connects to me on like a whole nother level, and I can't explain it. It feels like there's so much emotion in it, yet it's just like an abstract painting of a pond with water. Monet is a genius. So anyway, we have that because if I get to see his paintings this year in person, I'm gonna have a breakdown in the best way possible. Obviously, jumping off that, we have traveling. So I just put Paris, and then I have a little pub in Dublin behind the 2026 because we're hoping to go to Dublin as well. So just a few of the destinations we want to go to. There's also like an airport photo up the top just to, yeah, kind of remind me what we're working towards and the fact that I get to plan that soon. But yeah, I think those are the main things I want to focus on in 2026. I feel like it's not an overwhelming amount, but I do think it's a doable amount and enough to keep me motivated and continue. So that's what we look like. That's what our home screen looks like. I love it. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with my iPad already. That was really fun. Definitely do it. Like, make a little mood board. It's so fun. So the books we're talking about are actually all continuations in series, which is really exciting. And then I think we have one that I just wanted to include because the publisher sent it to me. So first two books, I'm sure you guys will be very, very happy with me for this. Finally, is Heart of Betrayal and The Beauty of Darkness. This is the second and third book in the Kiss of Deception series, The Revenant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. This is a trilogy that actually comes before the Dance of Thieves duology, which I didn't know that. When I read Dance of Thieves, I didn't know that there was a connected series, but it is recommended that you read this trilogy before going into Dance of Thieves. I loved Dance of Thieves. I thought it was so much fun. And I really liked the first book in this series, and I've been meaning to continue this series. And again, I just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So actually having them on my physical TBR will definitely be a good step. I think the covers are absolutely beautiful. The third one is so much thicker than I realized, but I am really excited to get into these. I want to read them so soon. Even though I read The Kiss of Deception quite a while ago, it has really stuck with me. I remember the entire plot, and that doesn't happen all the time. So very excited about this. If you don't know what this series is about, basically we are set in this very, like, I want to say traditional fantasy kind of world. Like, it feels almost medieval-ish, where we don't have like heaps and heaps of magic, but we are following our main protagonist, Leah, and she is a princess, and she's about to step up and kind of fulfill her duties as a princess, but she doesn't feel like she is ready for this. She's about to be forced into this arranged marriage. So she decides to run away. And she runs away to this distant village, and at this village she starts just working in a very lower class situation, I guess, earning her keep. And then she meets two mysterious strangers. One of them is the prince she was meant to marry, and the other one is an assassin that has been sent to kill her. But she doesn't know either of this. She just thinks they're two strangers in her workplace. It's really fun. I do think if anything is going to convince me to liking a love triangle, it's going to be this series, because I've heard that it's done really well. I hate love triangles. I notoriously hate them, but I didn't mind the first one. Not that we got like a lot of a love triangle in the first one, but I wasn't hating any bit of it. So I'm excited to continue. Like, bizarre that I'm saying that about a love triangle. The next book is the third book in the Jade City, or the Greenbone saga. I have just read Jade City and Jade War back to back because I could not put them down, and I would have probably gone on to the third book if I had had it, but I didn't buy it at the time when I bought the first two books. I regret that, but anyway, I went straight online to order it. Again, a very thick book. I'm so nervous, but I guess we'll see what's in store. I literally have just fallen in love with the Greenbone saga. It is an urban fantasy, if you haven't heard of it before. It's a kind of an older series, and it has that feeling about it. It is a very, very unique plot. Our characters are so incredibly flawed but complex. I'm obsessed with them. Oh my God, they make me feel so many kinds of emotions. We are set in the city of Janloon in this world, which is very like famous for having a lot of jade in its city. Not everyone can weld jade, but people who can weld jade, it basically increases your mental and physical strength. There are two kind of very prominent clans in the city as well. We are following the Cull family, but when another drug is introduced, it kind of lets out chaos and toxicity between the clans. An incredible book. I could not put it down. So I am so nervous to go into this one. I think I'm gonna try and read this in February, not January, because I've got some other really big books I'm reading, but definitely gonna be very, very soon because I can't wait. Like, I'm so curious to see what happens. The last continuation in the series I bought is The Winners by Frederick Backman. This is the third book in the Beartown series, and I'm actually currently reading the Beartown series. I'm getting close to finishing the second one. This series is unlike anything I've read before. Frederick Backman writes, oh my gosh, it is incredible. He says such incredibly harsh realities so plainly. Like, he doesn't tiptoe around a fact. That in itself is a big thing. If you haven't heard of Beartown, it is probably one of the most famous trilogies, I would say, and for good reason. The first book in this series, Beartown, is set in a very small Swedish town that kind of is very secluded. The only thing that this town kind of has going for them and that really unites them is hockey. They have a really strong high school hockey team. However, then one day something happens, an event happens to very much divide this town. It drives a line between between people and you're either with this or against it. And it really kind of just shocks the town. I wouldn't say that this has like a massive high action point, but I loved it and it felt so impactful. Like I don't know how to describe it, but I just recommend that everyone should read it. But please look up trigger warnings before you go into this series. Again, why are the third books? We're having a running theme here, but the third books in these trilogies are so big. This was so much bigger than I thought. We're close to 700 pages. That's crazy. What is gonna happen in this book? Oh my gosh. The last book I wanted to show you, I got sent by Hachette and it just looks really cool. First of all, the cover is what got me. So this is Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez. Isabel Ibanez? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm so sorry. It's got a little accent on it. I'm obsessed with this cover. It's so pretty. I think it's a YA novel. It's also got really, really big font, which we love. But the back says, love is the most dangerous magic. As a sculptress, Ravenna has always shaped beauty from stone. But she has a terrible secret. Desperate to save her brother, she enters a competition hosted by Florence's most feared immortal family, revealing a dark power in a city where magic is forbidden. We're set in Italy, Florence? That's so cool. Now captive in the cutthroat city, Ravenna is forced into a dangerous task where failure means certain death at the hands of Saturnio de Luni. I cannot pronounce Italian names, I'm so sorry. The immortal family's mesmerizing but merciless heir. But as he draws her closer, Ravenna realizes the true threat lies beyond Florence's walls. So it looks like we're drawing on a bit of Italian culture, Italian history, which is so interesting. I haven't read a fantasy book that draws on that, to be honest. I read a lot of historically influenced fantasies, but I don't think I've gone to Italy yet. So that is really exciting. That's really new for me. So I just wanted to show you guys because it looks really interesting. But yeah, those are the little books we have for our haul. Okay, so another thing I really wanted to do this year, I was meant to do this last year and I just keep forgetting, to be honest. I have been meaning to sign up to the library, my local library. I used to use the library a lot back in my last place, but then we moved and I just never signed up. So in 2026, I really want to be saving on money, saving on space. We don't have a lot of space on my bookshelf and I want to be buying books less. So I figured the best thing to do is to go to the library, get a membership and see what they have. I don't even know if my local library will have like a lot of the books. Maybe I can order them in. I'm not really sure. But if it does, if it has books that I want to read, that will be just an absolute godsend and amazing. I feel like libraries are really underused these days, to be honest. Like everyone goes there to study, at least in Australia. Everyone goes there to study, but I'm not sure that a lot of people actually go and borrow books. So I'm gonna be the one who borrows the books. So I think tomorrow we're gonna go do that, which will be exciting. A little bit nervous. I don't know why. Things sometimes make me nervous and I'm not really sure why. It's not like I have a good excuse. It's not like I am dreading the interaction that I have to have at the library to get a library card. Like I really don't mind about that. I actually don't know what causes me to be all about going to do these things. So anyway, we're gonna push past that fear and setting up my library account for 2026 will be so good because I can just keep going there throughout the year. It's also because I work from home, a really great way for me to get outside, go for a nice walk to the library, browse. I also find libraries so calming. I think because I spent so much of my childhood in libraries, I really enjoy them. So yeah, hopefully that'll be fun today. Hopefully we can go do that. I won't be borrowing heaps because I do have books on my TBR for this month, but I might pick up a few. The main thing I want to do is go and like get my membership and everything set up. So yeah, we're gonna tackle that challenge. I actually did it. I actually went to the library and I signed up. Honestly, a little bit awkward because I had tried to sign up online like a year ago. No, not quite. Like a good few months ago though, like at least 3/4 of a year ago. You have to sign up online, but then you have to go in to like activate your account. And they were like, oh, so you just like never came in to activate it. And I was like, yep. Anyway, we got there. We did it. We passed it. So there were so many books. Like, I'm very, very excited because it means I can use the library so much more. I am reading Oathbringer at the moment, and there is like a 3-week turnaround period, not one to hand in a late book. So I didn't want to pick up too much, and only books that I actually might read after Oathbringer, because obviously I'm not going to read that. Will take up my entire week of reading at least. So I just got a few, and if I don't get to them, it's not the end of the world, but I would love to. First of all, you guys know I've been really liking thrillers at the moment. A lot of you recommended more Lisa Jules. There was 2 there. I've read 1 book by Lisa Jules. None of this is true, and I did quite like it. This is The Family Remains. I haven't really heard anything about this one, to be honest, but it is a Lisa Jules. We are set in London, June 2019, and a bag of bones is discovered, and it kind of ties back to this whole like strain of murders that also relate to this family in like particular. So sounds really interesting, and I really liked Lisa Jules' writing, so I'm excited about that. I got one more thriller. I know this one came out not too long ago, I think, but this is by the same author, Laura Dave, who wrote The Last Thing He Told Me, which I actually didn't mind. I didn't mind it. I actually liked the movie as well. But honestly, the premise just sounded really cool for this. Set in California, a beautiful night, a secluded house on a cliff, where a wealthy businessman falls to his death on the rocks below, a tragic accident or a murder. His daughter Nora and Sam are determined to find out. I literally haven't seen anything, but look how like little amount of text is on each page. It's going to be so easy to read, so that's really fun. I feel like after I finish Oathbringer, I want some quick little ones. I forgot how good the library is, guys. 2026 is the year we use libraries again, and like I think you should do the same. And then I couldn't help myself. I have been really wanting to start rereading some of the Shadowhunters world. I'm not going to say all of it because like it's a massive world, but I really want to do the Last Hours series and a Clockwork Angel series. We got Chain of Gold, which is the first book in the Last Hours series, because the reason I want to do a reread is there's a new book in this series, like, or in this universe coming out. So like towards the end of the year, and I want to, like, I haven't read these books in ages, so I want to refresh my memory. And honestly, this is one of my favorite series. I read them for the first time by borrowing them from the library, so I didn't have them like physical to reread again, so I thought we'd grab it. Borrow them all from the library again. I'm so excited to be back in the Shadowhunters world. I've been really feeling quite nostalgic about rereads recently. I've been really like gravitating towards them. Like I really want to do a beach reread. I don't know why I've been wanting to so much, but yeah, and I'm just gonna let myself go with that vibe. But yeah, it was a successful little library trip, so I'm very excited to be using the library again. Honestly, I think it'll be a godsend for my bank account, but also just for the room in my apartment. Like I do not have a lot of room for books. I need to be unhauling and stuff constantly, and I don't love doing that. So this way I can read books, and if I absolutely love them and need a physical copy, I can buy them. It's just I feel like a little bit better for me personally. So yeah, that's what we did. I actually forgot to outro this video, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this kind of different video. If it is something you like, I would love to start doing this. I don't know, maybe quarterly. We can do like yearly resets or monthly resets. I would love to start incorporating this. It also holds me accountable and makes me do things that are good for me. So it's a really great excuse. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope it motivated you to kind of kickstart your 2026. Obviously, these are ways that works for me. So if it doesn't work for you, totally fine. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are still watching to the end, thank you so much. It truly means the world that you are here. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next one.